All right, so I'm still on my own, but I think Hannah will join us too as well. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome to our Alabaster Gamedev stream. We are still aiming for, a monthly stream this year, trying to become a bit more regular again, So this is July's stream, and today we will work on a new area. We will do a lot of mapping today. And yeah, for those who haven't seen us before, I'm Felix, aka Luxen. I will do the game development today, and with me in the voice chat is no one. But Henne, aka Geflüge, wants to join us soon as well. So probably in a few minutes, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, and we also have a music bot, which I can play, so it's not quite as sad and silent here. So let's play or unpause the music. Here we go. A classic. Okay, anyway, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will try to pay attention to spot your question. Sometimes we get distracted with whatever, and so just make sure to keep asking. And you have a music bot, you can actually have full control of effects. Enjoy the power while you can. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, honestly. I usually just play like some kind of playlist I find, and then when Hannah joins, he adds this music. So even though I have to admit, even though I'm not the biggest fan of VTubers and everything, I have to admit there's a lot of good music coming from this direction, so I'm not complaining. So where was I? Yes, today we will be doing mapping. If you have any questions, just ask them in the chat. You can write @ReadyGeFishGame. That makes it a little bit more likely for me to spot the question. And otherwise, yeah, that's about it really. Stream will be about 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, probably 3 hours, I would think. Will the game be out next week? Unfortunately, it will not. Things take time. I'm sorry. We have been promising to release a demo version next, and we are still working on that. But let's say very soon there will be bigger news about that. So we will be kind of like make an announcement about, the demo at least. And then things are pretty fixed, and then we have to deliver something in time. So that's at least good news in that regard. Yeah, the music is kind of... Let's see, I think the next theme might be better. It's all very sad music. It's because we're talking about how the game is doing and when the game will be done. So, very sad topics to talk about. I mean, we have been working on a lot of feature stuff still, like we always do. But I think we are now at the point where really there's not too many features left really. So it's we already should start working on the freaking content. That's really the big issue. Like committing to actually develop the content and actually creating the game. That's kind of like a hard border to cross, so to say. There's a question: will demo out for public or only for the event? Like the demo will be out for public on Steam. So yeah, it's about a public demo that will be there and probably stay there at least for a while. Like we already do have some internal testings. We already had like a couple showcase demos that you could play on Gamescom if you ever were there the last 2 years. We have been on Gamescom pretty much every year since the last 3 or 4 years, I would say. Like we had showcase builds in 2024 and 2023. And we will also be at Gamescom this year. It's not really announced yet, but we are pretty sure about it, and we will probably follow up with an announcement soon. So that's much I can already tell you. And as you may have seen on social media here or there, we are also at Bit Summit, though we in that case is unfortunately not me, even though I would love to be in Japan, Kyoto. It's actually just our composer, Dennis, or Shirakumo, I think, Shiraku, I'm probably saying this wrong. That's how his name is in Japan. He will be in Kyoto at Bit Summit to present Alabaster Dawn, together with a few other people who are pretty much just supporting us to have a presence at Bit Summit. So that was like just an opportunity we had, and we said, you know, why not? Why should we not present the event, the game at the event? And that's why it's happening. So if you happen to be there, you can try the game. It's admittedly a somewhat old showcase build, but you know it's still pretty much up to date. Because it's mostly about some content that has been done for some time. So I trust you guys, you take your time, but as far as I see, you do make solid stuff. So much love. Yeah, thank you so much. Always happy to hear that. To be really frank, it's also a little bit frustrating for us to see how slow things are going, and honestly, I'm a little bit afraid about how things will exactly change once we go open. And since it's pretty certain now that we will go the early access route again, I'm pretty sure things will have to accelerate once we go to early access. We just need to find this kind of urgency that it's, you know, we just have to finally get out the content. I mean, the good thing is, like, I hope people will see that whenever we release like the demo in the end, that we did put a lot of work into the game, and there was a whole lot of polish, and I think you will notice. Hi Hannah.
Will you actually? Did we actually put a lot of effort into the game?
I think maybe we did. Yeah, maybe not you, but I did, Hannah. So anyway.
Okay, I see. Yes. I actually was just slacking, and I didn't.
No, I mean, something I actually did some time ago. Just coincidentally, I tried an old test build from actually 2 years ago. Probably a bit more than 2 years ago, or 3 years. Might have been 3 years, to be frank. And just played that one, and then I played again the current version, and I actually was kind of impressed of how different it was. So we really like the first version back then. It felt really like a lot of things were really rough. Like the combat didn't feel quite as well. The performance wasn't quite as good because we actually improved a lot of stuff on the engine as well, performance-wise. And just in general, there was a huge difference. So in some way, you really see where all the time is going. But you know, we can't keep going like this forever. We really have to shift gears, so to say, and really focus on content at some point.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Psychiatric for the 5-year subs. Is it 5 years? It's 58 months. Is that
58 years? Months. That is, I think 5 years would be almost 60 months. Would that be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not too long. Yeah, not too long before I join the 5-year club. I have a problem, don't I?
Why no?
Well,
I don't see the problem. I just think it's very neat.
Sorry. And I mean, you subscribed with Prime, so you basically don't. You didn't
But
spend any money.
that means you had Primes for 5 years, so maybe that's a problem. But
maybe you used it properly,
maybe you get a lot of value out of it. So I don't know. There was a question. Like a first time chat. Some places in your game did remind me of Guardian Tales. Did Guardian Tales inspire you while making Alabaster Dawn? I don't think so, since I'm not sure what Guardian Tales is, but let me look it up.
I know it from some screenshots, but
Guardian Tales.
It's actually a mobile game, right?
Wow, yeah. I don't like it when people compare us to mobile games. God damn it. It's no, it's not really inspired by Guardian Tales, I have to admit.
Actually, very inspired by Pokemon, Felix.
Oh, I mean, I did play Pokemon, I have to admit.
Yeah, it's closer, actually.
Yeah. Hi, really love Featherball and Crosscode. Looking forward to your next game. Thank you. I can't wait to play your game in Bit Summit. Yeah, great to know that you will be there. I'm sure Dennis will be happy to meet you. Will you have save states, strings, debug stuff like in Crosscode for submit bugs? There will definitely be something to submit bugs. I think I still need to go over this. I think it's not quite on the same level as Crosscode yet, but that's something I actually want to do is that people will not have to send us emails, because this actually turned out to be like rather annoying and tricky. So what I would prefer is actually people can just submit, click a button, and they will just send this to our server directly, and then we get just a database list, which is easier for us to use. It's probably less work for you to do stuff. That's probably what we will be doing, at least for the early access release, I think. We are so excited about your game. Thank you. Yeah, Crosscode is my favorite browser game. Yay! I mean, strictly speaking, you can play it in the browser. I just finished playing Crosscode and its DLC not too long ago and loved the game. The final dungeon boss was absolutely incredible, so I'm excited to see what Alabaster has to offer. Please take all the time you can afford to take. Yeah, I really hope we can reach like the same heights we did with Crosscode. The weird thing about starting a new game after working on one game for many years is that you actually need to reset, you need to calm down. Like, we cannot start creating amazing enemies like we did in the Crosscode DLC, because, you know, the game needs to start slow and needs to, you know, get more impressive over time, otherwise the pacing is kind of off. So that's why we have to start slow. We had to remind ourselves, you know, we don't need, you know, 10, 12 boss attacks. Maybe, you know, just 5 or 6 are enough for now. You know, like some of the first Crosscode bosses, and then things get more complex later on.
Good thing I was able to hold back so much with the first quest.
Yeah, Henry, you did great. You did amazing. Yeah.
I mean, actually, the quest that is maybe a bit too much is at least not an early quest. It's like one that you get a little bit later.
Yeah, it's a little bit later. I think it's also fine. Like, it's also like fine to have sometimes a bit more complex quests which are surprise players. That's not usually a bad thing. It's actually good if you have some of those early on. You just have to make sure this will not become the standard, because it's not sustainable in the long run. We did get another subscription by old 1821, subscribing for 70 months already. Thank you.
And by Bill Fork 34.
Oh yeah.
For the 49th month.
Almost 5 years.
You get,
no, actually it's not. It's 50 months.
Almost 5 years.
But over 4 years. Nice.
Yes. If you get the public demo out, you will probably get some more people pestering you about Alabaster Dawn some more. More than us in the Discord even. Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely expected. the good thing is, at least when we release the demo, we will shortly follow up with at least some news regarding how early access is doing. But yeah, the thing is about getting the final game, things will not go as quickly, but I hope people will understand, because in the end we ended up in a somewhat similar situation as we did with Crosscode, and we kind of will need the early access to really wrap up the game decently. But at least we succeeded doing that in Crosscode, so I hope people have confidence in us that we can do it again. So what do you guys think about the Steam discussions? They are talking about puzzles. Oh yeah, they do a lot. We looked at this and we know that puzzles in Crosscode are controversial, and some people love them, some people hate them. So in the end, there's no way for us to please everyone. But we will still try to find some compromises. I mean, in the end, the game will still feature puzzles because it's one of our strong points. It's what a lot of players loved about Crosscode. But we will be more careful when it comes to pacing, about the amount of puzzles, about the length of dungeons, and specifically how tricky the puzzles are, how tricky it is to actually execute a solution of a puzzle. Crosscode had the thing that even if you knew the solution of the puzzle, it was sometimes just tricky executing it. And even though I'm sure there's some people who actually love that aspect, I think overall that's what a lot of people were more critical about. So we are like a little bit more careful in that regard. So we kind of like reduce the timing aspects, so it's less about being really quick about it. Oh, great. Yeah, like puzzles are the best, especially the time-based ones. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, as I said, we will not be able to please everyone here. It's kind of like a hard, a tricky situation here, but you know, yeah, we will definitely not remove all the puzzles. But yeah, we will hope that, like, something I can say is that I'm sure like the puzzles in Alabaster Dawn in the beginning will feel a bit like, probably not just a bit, but quite substantially more easy in the beginning. But I think that's like a bit of an unfair comparison, because Crosscode was really, it just went from 0 to really, really tricky puzzles right away. Like one of the first rooms in the cold dungeon were like really tricky puzzles, looking back at it. So, and I thought that was always, that caught a lot of players off guard. And Alabaster Dawn will, I think, have a more smooth curve where we will start slower and easier and things will get more complex. So we already have a lot of ideas about crazy puzzles. So there's like potentially that we can do all kind of weird stuff. And also one way we actually can do that might be a bit less controversial is by simply providing optional dungeons. So that's something we want to do. Optional dungeons is something you will have in Alabaster Dawn, and they will likely have the most challenging puzzles, because, you know, if you just hate puzzles, you don't have to do them, or at least you don't have to do them to beat the game. You know, that's something. Anyway, so that's just something. But yeah, let's start with the actual game development. I don't want to talk too much about this area we are currently working on, because it goes a little bit in spoiler territory. So, but you know, at least visually, I don't think it's there's anything too critical here. So I think I can just work on just mapping out details. Yeah, this is like, you know,
the insides of the Swarm Queen territory.
What?
Because that's what it's called. I'm making up fake spoilers again.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I noticed that you closed all your tabs except for one.
I did. I prepared. I even did something here that when I playtest the map, not something happens. So okay. I did make sure of that. So let's hope I succeed in not spoiling stuff this time. Yeah, like there's not too much stuff we can show right now, but mostly because we kind of want to prepare something which is a little bit more surprising. for the demo release. So that's why we are a little bit less, you know, transparent about certain things we're working on right now. Just so you know, there are reasons. Okay, Vermilion Wasteland 2. Well, it looks a little bit like this, admittedly. I mean, the thing about Alabaster Dawn is you actually have these kind of areas all over the place. It's you know, the setting from what you can already see on the Steam page. This is effectively, we call this the Lost Lands. Essentially, those are lands cursed by Nyx, and Nyx is essentially like the big evil of the game, so to say. And this is what the world looks like when it has been performed by Nyx. That's pretty much it. And you don't see this just in one place, you see this all over the place. And you know, the big thing about Alabaster Dawn is actually freeing the world of this. So expect to be able to see this world looking like this in the beginning, and then later it will change, nature will return, and people will start living there again. That's roughly the direction it will be going.
Will this area be in, or rather, will this map be in the demo? That's the question.
Will this area be in the demo? Actually, yeah, it will be. If we manage to do what we plan to do. Yes.
It is for the prologue, as we said before, so it's...
Did we say that? Okay, I didn't actually want to spoil that, but you know what, it's fine.
I mean, I posted it in Discord, so...
I know. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a huge spoiler, but you know, the prologue. But we did actually, we are pretty open about working on the prologue in our blog post, so I guess it's not a huge spoiler, so it's fine. But yeah, we are working on the prologue.
Please still forget everything you heard, otherwise I will get fired.
No, it's fine. But yeah.
It's Raid Island, everyone. No. I mean, Raid Island wasn't the prologue.
Yeah, Vincent is lurking in the chat saying, I never thought about it, but the Nyx areas kinda have that Vermilion Wasteland flair. By the way, Vincent, if you want to join the voice chat in the stream sometime, just let me know, you know, we can actually arrange that. Never thought about asking that.
We first need we first need to do employee social media training.
Oh
like
yeah, because we definitely do that. Okay. So I'm actually pretty far ready with this map. I'm just polishing a few details here. We'll move to the next map now, I guess, or at least soon.
You need to put turrets on the corner before you start the next. Wait, what?
What?
I'm not sure. Terraria Crimson crossover looking great. That's true. It's a bit like the Crimson area.
Huh. I mean, yeah, about the comparison Vermilion Wastelands. I mean, that's usually what happens when you know, create a new game. You kind of like fall back in certain patterns that you did before. So it's to be expected that people are reminded of certain areas in Crosscode, and I'm pretty sure this will keep happening a few times. But to be frank, we did work pretty long to find like a certain design that works for Nyx. We tried to like a few things. We iterated a little bit about this. You can actually see some very old videos above Alabaster Dawn, Project Terror still back then, where you can see how these areas looked before, and there's like some difference definitely. Things were more like it used to be kind of like just a wasteland, you know, like instead of weird shapes and stuff like this, you actually mostly just saw, you know, barren trees without any leaves, you know, just dead trees, dead plants all over the place. But it just ended up being very gray and a little bit too sad, and in the end we wanted to have some more vibrant element to it. This is also important because it gives us more options for variety, because if you just have wastelands, you know, wastelands keep to look the same everywhere, and we wanted to make different Nyx infested areas a bit more unique, so we needed something that goes a bit away from this wasteland aesthetic, and that's why, you know, have all of these growing light bulbs here, and something that you don't see here, but I can show you in some other areas, like here, this one. This is actually like one example how the world will transform. So this is the Nyx area, and you can see that you have it's not just dead trees, but they actually look weird. There's some other stuff growing on them which is not supposed to grow there. It's kind of like, it looks more a bit infested, you know, rather than just dead. And yeah, this is how it looks in nature. This is one example.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much one of the big features about Alabaster Dawn, that you don't have just one world, but it actually changes over time. There's at least 2 versions to, well, not every place to be frank, but at least a lot of places in the game will at least have 2 versions, like the Nyx infested version and the nature version. And in general, there's a lot of options for us to transform the world and change it over time. Do you have old build of that map, Corrupted Trees? I really like how you had them. Yeah, the map flip feature was really essential to make this development more feasible. The old map, we do have everything on Git, and I could just check out an old version, but that would take some time. But you know, you can just go on our Radical Fish Games YouTube account, because we did at some point release like a very early video build, and you can still see how the game looked like back then. So let's just scroll a little bit. Man, that's the crosscode. Then we didn't have that many videos. Here, that's the one. So here you can already see how it looked like in the beginning. As you can see, it's we actually did have already like the red things here. But you see all the trees, they're just dead, you know. There's nothing there.
Oh no. Felix is doxing his YouTube.
Am I?
No, just your YouTube recommendations.
Oh boy. Oh no. But you know, how can you hide those? I'm not sure.
Didn't you have like an add-on for that? At some
I
point?
did, but I disabled it recently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just
you know, most of them are just, you know, whatever YouTube thinks is currently
YouTube
interesting to me.
Recommends so much nonsense to me.
Yeah.
I'm super not interested into. Like, I mean, okay, it recommends like a lot of VTuber clips and stuff, which are somewhat in my interest, but it also recommends some really dumb shit.
Yeah, anyway, as you can see here, those are the dead trees here. You know, just trees with barely any leaves and everything. And this is how it looks like now. So you now have, you know, more colorful and weird trees. And so yeah, this is where we went, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that happened well before you joined the team, Vincent. This was, I think, around the first year actually of production. Like, even after when we started production, we had a prototype phase. In the prototype phase, we didn't even have a clear vision about what Nyx looks like. So we all did this within the first year of production. So yeah. And you know, that it's stuff like this which also explains why everything took longer. In Crosscode we just did stuff and went this way, and in Alabaster Dawn we are iterating a whole lot more about all kind of stuff. Okay. Good. Time for some mapping. Good thing about mapping is it's, you know, you can just get into the flow. It's kind of relaxing even.
Indeed. Get into the flow, watch some streams nearby, meanwhile.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm bad at this.
Well, I do some streams meanwhile.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just streaming. Yeah, that's correct. Spiky, spiky.
I'm currently still eating something, by the way.
That's good to know.
Something to calm my stomach from the challenging food I ate.
You really shouldn't. You really had to order it. You know, it's nobody told you to do it. I just wanted to eat it myself, so it's fine.
I wanted to check it out. I haven't eaten in something exotic like this.
I have to admit, like, somehow it wasn't as tasty as I remembered. Maybe the food at this booth wasn't as great in general.
Maybe it's a skill issue.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think Alabaster Dawn would have crossover content from Crosscode, even if it's just a subtle nod or two? I mean, maybe some Easter eggs. Like it's like very much its own game, but there's always possibilities for like small Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah, Easter eggs are very likely to happen sooner or later. But yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little bit tricky to kind of like connect the two settings in a meaningful way, I think. Okay, let's see. It's time for more Nyx grass.
Very fitting music also for this creepy kind of.
Well, I guess. I can imagine one of the motoyakis being named Ventosamogos. I sure hope not. Table Girl 2 and Alabaster. Man, Table Girl is like a great potential for a weird guest role because this would work everywhere. I mean, it would be weird everywhere, but you know, it's at least. You know, there's tables in this world, so yeah.
How goes the making of the game? The new software looks much easier to work with compared to the one you had with Crosscode.
Yes.
Very true. Very true. Whenever I was doing some hotfixes on Crosscode, like a year ago or two, I was always like, damn. Our new software is so much more usable. But don't worry. We kind of offset that with spending way more work on stuff. Yeah, way more.
It's you know, it's like it's kind of a thing I admittedly didn't know about, but there's like this effect where when you make things more efficient or easier to do, you would expect things would go faster. What happens instead is you spend more time tweaking to get to a better result. So you start getting more perfectionist about it. You start tweaking things more, and that's why you still spend a lot of time, probably the same as before or even worse, but the result is a lot better. That's kind of what happens. It's the same like where if you make freezers or fridges more energy efficient, people tend to just get larger fridges and use more have more food available. Or like when you have a washing machine, that's actually the better example. Like before washing machines were around, the thing is people spent a lot of time washing, but they effectively... No, I think what happened is before washing machines, washing was a whole lot of work, so people did it less often. When washing machines came around, washing was a lot easier, but people did do it a lot more, but just cycling through clothes much more quicker because it was so easy to wash clothing. So effectively, people still spend a lot of time with laundry. So that's kind of like also what happened.
Or like, but no, then again, induced demand with roads and cars is maybe a bit different, but it goes into a similar.
Yeah, might be somewhat similar.
Based concept. If the potential is there, people just want to use it more, and then.
Yeah.
Is it a new engine or a heavily modified old one? I mean, there are some stuff that we basically ported over, but it's from the ground up a new engine.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a new engine. We did obviously copy some code from Crosscode and tweaked it. But everything had to be rewritten because it's Crosscode was JavaScript, whereas this here is TypeScript. We know it's similar, but we really try to make everything type safe. So this is mostly because we also want porting of the engine to be easier to do. That's why, types are very useful for that. So we should have, oh yeah, we do have the large lamps. Look at this. Lamp. Huge lamps.
Like lambs to the slaughter.
No, lamps, not lamps. I'm really trying to make the P hard. It's...
Please, Felix, don't make the P hard. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We are, by the way, very serious and mature game developers.
Yeah, very, very mature. So you're saying there's some crosscode with Crosscode? Exactly. Yes, that's right. So Alabaster Dawn is a washing machine. Of course, it all makes sense now. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you.
Who does the concept art and area design?
Lots of people. We did get a couple new concept artists to our team. Like the ones from Crosscode are still around, which are, for the most part, Freeze, I would say. He did most of the concept art in Crosscode about locations and areas. We got Sibylle in our team now. She's also known for her work in... Actually, Vampire Therapist, if you ever heard about this one. She actually worked on that one too. And another game which I always forget the name about, which is... Dang, what was it again? And do you remember?
Sea of Solitude?
Yeah, Sea of Solitude, that's the one, yeah. she worked on that one as a concept artist, and yeah, she's very talented. I think she contributed a lot about the character designs, but also a lot of to our environment design. Then we have a couple interns who also contributed, and one of them still sticked around and still helps us with concept art and also pixart. So
is she still an intern? I think she's like a freelancer now.
No,
right?
now she's a freelancer pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's yeah, also contributed especially on creature designs, which, you know, in turn are impacting enemy designs. So do I sense a sponsorship deal in the future? Alabaster don't do so. Not gonna. I'm examining the map right now to try and spot any jumping paths I can take when I get the game. The funny thing about this one is it actually doesn't have a lot of jumping paths, which is like usually something that happens when I create maps. Whenever Stefan takes over, he makes sure there's always like jumping paths, but this one there's reasons why. I mean, Hannah already said it's a prologue map, so you're not supposed to be jumping around that much. You know, just like with the beginning when you play Shizuka. So that's why there's not too much stuff here. Which doesn't mean we will modify this map over time to still add a few of those, so this might actually happen. Okay, I will just go to the next map. I think I did plenty here. Okay, actually there's still a little bit more stuff here.
Will the jumping mechanic be manual?
Kinda. There will not be a jump button because, you know, for some reason I will just never implement a jump button in my games. I'm sorry. I'm at fault here because I just think it's unnecessary. But what something we did is we repurposed the dash button for jumping. In Crosscode, when you dashed on an edge, you just fell down. And now the dash button is pretty much the jump button. So instead, you actually need to dash to an edge to jump. The dash button used to let you hop in place. Yeah, I know, but we removed this because in the end I think it's more important that it's consistent, because it turned out that the backdash is ended up a pretty important input for the backdash attacks. So, you know, that's for this to be more intuitive, I think the dash button had to be the backdash by default. You know, but it is actually a pretty small hops, which is kind of like, you know, jumping. Oh, Flora's here. Hi, Flora.
Hey, Flora.
Who subscribed for 80 months. Damn, that's how many years? 9? Wait, okay.
9? No.
No.
Not 9. It's 7, I would assume.
7. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Almost 7. No.
We are very good at head calculations.
No, it's actually 6 years, I think. Wait,
no.
60 plus 20. It's not 7. It's almost.
Oh damn! Right. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if 60 is 5, 72 is 6.
But yeah, so essentially I can show this here. So by default, when you go to an edge, you would just stop like this. And something when you dodge or dash, then you do the far jump. So this is how it works now. I would like to know if this game can do co-op thing. It cannot. Online co-op will not happen. It's too tricky, too difficult to do.
And local co-op is,
local op, while more feasible, is also not very likely to happen. Simply because really the game is really not designed for it. Wouldn't you think that online com? I don't know, like I kind of feel co-op is what a lot of people ask about, but what a lot of games are not in fact be doing, because I kind of get the impression it's not in high demand in practice as you would think. You know, it's kind of like for some people it's like a great thing because they want to play with other games, the game with friends, and it's like an amazing experience. But I feel for a lot of people it's like, you know, they just want to play the game to escape things, and they they don't want to be restricted in having to play it with a game with a friend. So obviously, ideally, something you want to do is to allow both. So you have like the option to play it alone or with a friend.
They want to escape. They want to escape social interactions, not engage in them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, if you come back to work and it's late, you're tired. Like sometimes it's just tricky for some people to actually arrange a co-op session like this, and then they just, you know. So I think there's like a certain demand. Like if you do a game that has to be played co-op, I feel there's like because we do know some people who did this and it didn't really work out for them at all. I'm not sure if that was because it was co-op or something else, obviously, but
I mean, there is a demand, but I think there's also already quite a lot of games that fulfill the co-op gaming demand. And bottom line is, we just don't think it's worth the considerable effort, especially for the game that we're doing, because it isn't very well built around co-op concepts in the first place, I think.
I mean, if you think about it though, playing Seeker of Mana in co-op was really cool. So to some extent, I can see it for sure. And yeah, you know, we could have done something where you could just play party members in cross-code. Local co-op, obviously. Again, online is like a whole different matter. It's just a lot more tricky. I
mean, if you want a nice co-op game in that genre, check out Secrets of Grindia. That's very nice.
Yeah.
And it's even finished by now.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler to do like a co-op where you just need to be on the same machine. As soon as more than one computer is involved, it gets really tricky, because then you need to synchronize things online. It's very hard to do this correctly. The whole engine needs to be designed around this fact. You cannot just add this as an afterthought. Like the whole engine really, if you want to do an online game, you need to start to do this from the very beginning. You need to keep this in mind. Everything needs to be designed around it. Like everything, like the engine, and like adding this as an afterthought, I think is really tricky. And probably very inefficient too. So even if you manage to get it to work, I'm not sure it will be running well. So it's just that hard, you know. And I know a lot of people ask about it, but it's just not realistic. Local co-op, on the other hand, does mostly mean we just need to read 2 inputs. Like that's really easy. You can just read multiple gamepads and just need to, you know, control, like change the way a character behaves based on one player's control. There's probably a lot of small details that need to be considered here as well. So maybe it's actually not as easy I'm thinking right now, so I might underestimate this still, even local co-op, but at least compared to online co-op, it's a huge difference. We often had this, but I want to be careful about promising anything, because I know this happened in CrossCode. At some point I said, yeah, maybe we'll do this, and then some people were like a little bit too insistent of us doing this. So I don't want to promise anything really. We're creating a single player game here. It's a JRPG, pretty much in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, remember that even Trials of Mana didn't have co-op in the remake.
Yeah.
So.
Why not online PvP as separate from the story mode? Still, and yeah, like it has nothing to do with the story. It has about to get our combat system to work in online. That's the thing. So if you do online PvP, the combat system needs to work online. So you need to design the physics engine, the combat system, the hit detection. Everything needs to work in an online setting. So doesn't matter if it's online PvP or in the story, it's just as challenging. So
there's also the big question if the PvP even actually works as a fun gameplay experience.
That even more so, like because yeah, I'm not sure the games would really work that well as PvP. I think co-op gets good community as with Split Faction and It Takes Two. Yeah, that's the thing, like Split Faction and It Takes Two, that's like one of, as far as I know, very few games that do that, and they're very successful doing it, and there might actually be like a huge market for that. But the thing is, those games are really designed around this. Our game clearly isn't. It's very much designed around the single player experience. So even if we now add any kind of co-op, it will not feel quite as fun, because again, the game is designed as a single player game. It's like a very heavily unbalanced. You will have one character who is really complex and tricky to control, and another character which will feel very simple and more like a support role, really. So that's really what you will be getting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a long question here. The terrain looks so beautiful. How did you guys manage to make the diagonal sides of the cliff terrain look so pixel perfect? I've tried to create pixel art in 3D before with the diagonal shapes and always run into the problem that the pixels are getting cut off by the mesh. How did you guys keep it look? Okay, yeah, we talked about this a couple of times already, but the trick is, first of all, this only works as long as you don't rotate the camera. We can do this in our engine. We sometimes do this a little bit in our game. It's not exactly clear how much, but this only works because in the end the game still has like a fixed perspective which always looks in the same direction like this. And because we know it's always projected like this, what we do have here is custom graphics, you know, like you would do in an actual tile-based pixel art game. We have custom graphics for the front, custom graphics for the diagonal, and those are all pixel perfect textures. That's why you don't see any very flat line here, but you actually see like the pixel steps. This is essential. And then we just project those textures on the diagonal shape in a way that really minimizes the distortion. And it's a really weird way to split the mesh. It's really a little bit tricky to show here, I think. But imagine here we actually have two triangles. One is here on the ground, the other one goes up the wall. Here we have now two triangles on the wall, but you know, it's kind of like a very skewed piece. So if you look at from the side, it looks like this. And here we have the top piece, which is again, like this triangle is along the wall, and again this triangle is on the ground, and that's how we distribute the graphics over the mesh. And again, in practice, it just means you place a texture, you project it in a way on the mesh that minimizes distortions or rotations or anything like that. And then that's how you really get this really clean pixel art look. There's some more tricks we do for the side walls, which is essentially, yeah, here it's a little bit hard to keep the pixel precise, which is why side walls are usually less detailed, so you don't notice too much. In this case, it's actually like a very kind of like, it's a somewhat diagonal mesh, which goes a little bit to the inside. We use this so we actually can show, we actually can have some gaps in those graphics and still seem somewhat connected. So that's like another trick we're using, and that's why things don't look very flat here. This also helps a ton. So it's a lot of small stuff like this. But again, like in essence, this only works if you keep the camera projection like this. And even though our game is 3D, you will not be able to rotate the camera, because then this whole trick wouldn't work. Yeah. Okay. Will I ever be able to get to the second map? Let's find out. Maybe in the next 20 minutes I'll finally manage to conclude. Maybe in the next episode of this game stream. By the way, not sure if you saw this, Vincent. I create those here because I was so sick of creating those you know, those Nyx veins from all those scalables. It's like always so much work. So I said, okay, I will just create, you know, a couple of pre-made variants that you can just paste, and it really saves a lot of time. Honestly, it's a little bit late to do this now for Alabaster Dawn, but moving forward, I think there's like a few guidelines I would keep in mind when we create areas like this. There's like a few things where we made the way we created our assets and how we started creating maps is just really inefficient. Like you need to stop doing this, you know, placing small props. This is like the huge time waster. So in the future, whenever that will be, maybe later in Alabaster Dawn development or maybe for the next game, we just need to find systems so we don't have to do this. Like those should happen automatically, and maybe in a way to tweak things, but this is what is wasting so much time. Honestly, like the field planes were really like a good way to kind of minimize like the extent of doing this. And what also helps about the field planes is that it kind of like, you stop being too perfectionistic, because it's just impossible to be too perfectionist with field planes, which is good because you need to limit perfectionism sometimes. It's just as important as being perfectionist, I feel. Otherwise the game will never be done. And the field planes help you do that. They're just a bit chaotic, and it's just how it is.
But it's a chaos that usually feels pretty natural, because it's like nature. It's usually grass or something. So chaos.
I really like those really long strand plans. Could Alabaster actually be a new strand type game? What are strand plans?
You mean those very long, spindly things?
Probably those here. Is this about Death Stranding? No, it's Death. Is that the what is the game called again?
Death Stranding? You mean the game that has? You mean the game that has VTuber in it?
Yes, that's exactly how you would define this game, Hannah.
I mean that's Death Stranding too. That's why it's popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do you mean
those things
Rain World? Or
yeah, the spindly things. Yes, like, do you mean those arcs or those floating stone things? Or those roots? Anyway, so okay, I will do it now. I will go to the next map. It's
what? No way.
Here it is. This is how map looks like when nothing has been polished yet. The first thing I need to do though is actually maybe remove those chunks. Thank you. And then I'm gonna import from the bottom this map update, and here we go. That's actually a very neat feature that we implemented. We actually have our maps connected on a world map, and then we can import props and terrain from neighboring maps, so things are really consistent. It's that was done by Stefan because he cares a lot about consistency. So it's good he made this feature. In Crosscope he had also this kind of demand to have things perfectly consistent, but we didn't have the tools, so Stefan was busy just making sure all the maps always connect perfectly.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That's how things are with us.
Priorities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's check. The really long ones, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the leader, probably those here. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean with strand-like. If this is like a reference to Death Stranding, that's the name, right? Because
Death Stranding, yeah.
Yeah, we have to. I have to.
Game.
Yes, I have to admit because those were inspired by this game, actually. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like because it actually kind of fit like the kind of vision we had for Nyx, so we thought, you know, something like this might make sense, and it's probably a cool, because especially with the perspective, you can really see the 3D effect very clear with those. But those are also very new, and they might still change, so just be aware of that, because that's actually the first time actually using those. And I still have to see how they work out in practice. Strand type, okay.
Okay, I see.
I see, so yeah, Strand type is now you playing the delivery guy, or what was the game kinda?
I think you were basically a delivery guy who connected places together.
Yeah.
Or a vehicle to put things he likes into it. Like his favorite VTuber or his favorite actors that he likes. So I'm not sure how which favorite actors are actually in the game.
Yeah, but why would you?
Aside from
Only VTubers are important.
No, I mean I know that Matt Mikkelsen is obviously in there, but Death Stranding. I mean, and also you have to be fair. Like a VTuber being in the game is way more notable for how weird it is compared to
I guess,
a
yeah,
famous
that's
actor.
true.
I mean, you have a lot of famous actors in various games. Why is there no cast list? Oh yeah, there is. Okay, Norman Reedus, Troy Baker. Okay.
Minutes Arachnoid ask, how long the gameplay demo will be? That's a tricky question, honestly. We don't know exactly yet. It's actually a very hard decision, because if you ask some people, they say, oh, the demo must not be too long, because people should still feel like the need to actually get whatever we want to sell afterwards. Some other people obviously want to have very long demos. They want to, since we are creating a game which is kind of like a JRPG, and it will be like playtime intensive. Like the current version is already well over 5 hours long. It's not nearly finished, not nearly. So I feel just trying to wrap everything into a 1 hour demo might not be the best idea, because people don't really have a chance to see how the game actually is like. That's actually the case for the CrossCode demo too. The CrossCode demo only shows you like the beginning, and then when the game opens up, you actually never play this. So really, it's a tricky choice. I'm not sure. Maybe if you here have some opinions about this. Would you expect a very long demo version, or do you think a short demo might work out? Though I'm pretty sure if you ask players, like the longer the demo, the better. Obviously, it's mostly like, the game dev / publisher perspective tends to be, a little bit different in that regard, to be perfectly frank. But in the end, what you can expect is at very least an hour. I think it's really not realistic to create a demo that's shorter than that for our game, because there's just too much stuff to show. A demo long enough for some speedrunners to finish the game. Alright. That heavily implies the game needs to be done, so nope. That's not gonna happen. Around an hour to 90 minutes is pretty long these days, especially for story-driven game.
roguelites and rapid repeat games are the more the exception than the norm and tend to have 2 or 3 hours of play potential. And of course, then there was Unicorn Overlord that had like 8 hours of demo. But I mean, that's more a super exception.
Okay, so around an hour to 90 is pretty long these days, especially for story-driven games. Okay, that's. I mean, it's an interesting perspective because what I'm mostly thinking about is like what you hear about the demos from the big JRPGs or whatever. Like, you know, what was it that you mentioned?
Unicorn Overlord?
Yeah. Like that one had a very long one.
That was a very big exception, I think.
But also like the Final Fantasy demos are also always very long, as far as I understood.
I mean, if you think back to like the demos from the olden days, like your Gothic demo back in the day, where you could also play like 10 hours or more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But it's like a very different kind of RPG.
Yeah.
I mean, if you played Unicorn Overlord for like only 1 or 2 hours, I think hard to get a good grasp of the game, maybe. But maybe it would have worked. I don't know.
Yeah, because if we just limit stuff to, let's say 1 hour, something that's just impossible to show is like the more free gameplay where you just run around, you do some quests. Because once you reach this point, it's just really tricky. You need to kind of limit the space a lot. Otherwise, people can potentially already spend just an hour going around and looking for stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like Winston says, like for every seconds, and that's 5 to 8 hours. Yeah. So. Yeah, but the thing is, I just keep seeing those examples. Can anybody tell me, like, an action RPG / JRPG demo that's just an hour long?
The last Mana game was like more than an hour, I think. And I think the Trials of Mana remake you could also play for more than an hour in terms of content.
Yeah.
I think those are kind of comparable in their openness. Did you actually play this one? What was it? Visions of Mana, right?
No, I actually never played that, no.
The demo, it was fun. I mean, it was pretty rough around the edges because you kind of felt like it was one of those games that the company didn't have that much trust in, which then was basically confirmed after they fired the entire team on release. But I mean, that's somewhat comparable. And you definitely could spend like 2 hours or something on that game, on the demo.
Yeah.
How long was our crosscode demo again? Like the longer one that we had before early access.
Oh, that demo was pretty long. But then specifically Deck 13 convinced us to create a shorter version of that one, which was a little bit controversial. But that's also why I think we need to be a bit more careful this time. So we should try not to create like a very long demo and then make it shorter again so that people hate this. And especially since we are considering releasing an early access version, it probably makes sense to not make it too long in practice. So people still have a reason to get early access if they actually want to.
I mean, I personally do think that having the demo a bit more on the longer side is usually a good idea for a game like this because usually if your game is good and your demo is like still just 5% of the game or something, but then still like 1 or 2 hours, people usually will still want to play more and then buy the game because it's a story-based game. They usually want to get more of the gameplay systems. They want to get more of the story. So I think that would usually work. And for our game, I can already see like some good cutoff points for the demo. I mean, I'm pretty sure you are also.
Yeah, I already have some. The thing is, but to really effectively show what the game really has to feature, I'm mostly thinking about dungeons, because if meaningfully connecting the dungeon will be very tricky. But this is where we could do something where at some point the game will just jump to another part, and you will be able to just play this for a moment and just get some impressions. There's actually like a couple of these moments. The game has a lot of really impressive moments that are tricky to show, kind of like without creating jumps inside the plot. And there's like the thing, when the demos are very long, people kind of want to keep their saves, but
that's true. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, the thing is, but that also means you can't do jumps, because whenever you start doing jumps, you break the continuity. You cannot make the save compatible. But there's actually like a mixed approach where you can say, okay, there's this demo. You can play this for a certain amount of time, which is pretty much exactly how the game starts. Then when this ends, and this is where I would really try to limit it to 30 to 60 minutes, then you can create a save, and the save will be compatible with whatever version comes after this. But then you are still offered to jump ahead and get like a preview of some other parts. Just with the warning that those you will not be part of the save, and you have to play those again in the final game. And then we can show some cool things. We could do that, or we could just create a video. That's a question, right? So what's better?
But that's already a very reasonable approach to do it, I think.
Yeah, at least I think that's something I would prefer doing. I think the demo of Meta was like, here it goes again. It's
Metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, like all of these big JRPGs demos, multiple hours. Like, dude, you don't never get anything that's just done in an hour there. Like, okay, you said Visions of Mana. That's like another example, I guess. But yeah. But here's so much where I kind of start to think, okay, is it really a good idea to make like a very short demo? But
I think it should definitely not be too short, because you want to give the player some good impression on what the game is like. But
also, our game it just will be a long game. Let's be frank, and I think people kind of expect this. And if they play for an hour or maybe two, I don't think they'll think, I probably will not need to play this any longer. Like, I mean, this is not the kind of game that you finish in 2 hours. So. Not even close.
Yeah, that's true. Unless, no, not really. I don't think even.
Well, I mean, you can speedrunners. Yeah, that's.
But
they might be able to.
Speedrunners spend thousands of hours to accomplish that.
Yeah,
3 hour
exactly.
run or something. So Wait, a stream? Do you usually stream, or am I lucky to catch? Yeah, we usually stream once a month, kind of. So you're kind of lucky to catch it.
Yeah, once a month. I'm sorry. At least we try to do it every month now. Like sometimes we skipped a few months.
Yeah, it might surprise you, but streaming is not our main breadwinner.
No, not really. But it's fun mostly. It's just a good way to see that people to show people that we are actually still alive and we're doing stuff. So that's good, right? So
Yep. And get some feedback and ideas and things.
Talk
about random things.
Talk about stuff about like how long our demo should be. You know, really important decisions.
Yep. We should just make a vote for it, Felix.
Yeah, let's make a vote.
Fully democratic. Yeah. And yeah, talk about random things like, how do you guys feel about horses?
Oh no, Hannah, please, no.
Just kidding.
I
just want to reiterate, I'm still not playing it.
Yeah, sure. As if I can believe that. Okay.
I only appreciate the meta knowledge and the memes.
Okay.
Is the 30 minutes to 1 hour gameplay is the story only or the entire gameplay mechanic? I mean, it would be the entire demo, or rather, what you meant, Felix, with the 30 to 1 hour?
13 hour gameplay
it would be a part of the
story
demo, right?
only, or the entire? I mean, the 30 to 1 hour I would expect is just the part where you can just create the save and then continue. I think an hour is realistic for this. If I like thinking about the same cut point there. Then there would be some extras on top of that, maybe, which would maybe take, you know, maybe up another half an hour at most. I would say. You have to see.
You have to see, or you.
Yeah.
Yes. Kovac asked horses, huh? Well, Felix, no, I have to explain
No,
it.
Kovac, please don't ask. Why do you ask this? No.
It's nothing sexual. It's
Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah. It wouldn't, because then Yakuza would get you.
Right, Felix. That's the thing.
At least that's good. Yeah. Okay.
That's a funny. That's like one of the most well-known and fun little fun facts about Uma Musume. So, what's your favorite female horse? Oh yeah, Bill Fox 34 says, "Let me do an out-of-context lore of Rice Shower, which got euthanized at 6 years old." Yeah, horse racing is brutal.
Okay.
But at least you can send one of your favorite trying hard but never winning horses a lot of ryegrass through some Japanese company, which I find is a very funny service. Well, that's a very basic fact. Oh, that is those memes. I don't understand. Oh, now this is Uma Musume stream. There's no escape. Oh no. I wonder,
not
Vincent,
you two, not you two, Vincent, please.
Did you start playing it? I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything, but you kind of seem like the type.
Oh no.
No, I just know that he does play some gacha games, I think, and he likes cute girls. So maybe horse girls, it's like a thing. You see, I don't play it, but like everyone in my friend circle is.
Okay, maybe I may be currently playing Uma Musume and lurking in the chat. Oh no, Hannah, you did it now.
Yui is also playing it a lot.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Yui is just, she does play this a lot, yeah, these kind of things, so it's fine. It's not like that would be surprising at this point.
That's true.
So...
But let's get back to more interesting topics. There was like a super epic trailer from Limbus Company for the next Walpurgis Night. It's it's really amazing, like in terms of like the production value increase that they have and stuff. It's very good. And it has magical girls. Doesn't everyone love magical girls?
Sure.
Yes, okay. Yes, the half-pant Queen of Hatred Dawn. I'm actually... What's even funnier to me is that they actually went with the full name for the ID name, basically, which will be interesting to see how they put that in the interface. Because Lobotomy Ego, the name of love and hate, is a very long name, I think. Like longer than some item descriptions in Crosscode. And I also like that the attack is basically just a big Slayers reference.
Okay.
Have you seen Slayers, by the way, Felix?
The anime?
Yes?
I think I read the manga a little bit.
Interesting.
But
it's like,
not that much, so...
It's like kind of like Records of Lodos Wars, in that it's like one of those bedrock fantasy anime of like that generation.
Yeah, but it was a lot more comedic as far as I remember,
of course,
right?
Yeah, it was a lot more comedic. The art style was way more typical anime 90s in many ways, and way more comedic. Like it had way more obvious anime tropes, if you think about it, from what I've seen. But I've actually never seen it completely. I mean, I obviously know the characters, and I know that Konosuba parodied it a lot, with like the explosion stuff. The explosion being a parody of the giant spells from that series, and things like that. Yeah, and Limbus Company, or rather, like, they already started that with Lobotomy Corp, have like this one, let's say, being with an ultimate attack that is also very, very obviously a Slayer's homage, like with the spell and the spell chants and the name of it, things like that. Be right back, I need to close some windows.
Getting too loud again. I've been obsessed with Lord of the Mysteries anime. The quality is insane. Alright. Maybe Hannah knows more about this. I'm not really up to date with anime at all, I have to admit. Really kind of... Though I have to admit, at some point I finally want to properly watch Attack on Titan, because this one is already over for a long time, but you know, I still need to actually watch like the proper end, even though I know it's controversial, not everyone likes it, but you know, I'm still curious, I want to see it. And we did, I mean, Han and I did watch Delicious in Dungeon. What was the original name again? I forgot.
Dungeon Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi, yeah, that one was very good. We'd also really started watching Freedom and we never finished yet. Right?
We really need to finish it. I think Flora finished it already, right?
We need to finish before winter for sure, because otherwise,
It will be too cold, haha.
So.
Yes, yes. I don't have the time for another gacha game. 2 already feels like too much. Yeah, I mean, I also play 2, but Limbus Company is at least relatively time friendly, so it's not too time consuming. And I mean, I am planning to play some Enfield when it finally comes out, but I will see how time intensive that will be. I'm pretty afraid of the game mechanics in that one because those sound very, very in depth.
Do you know Lord of the Mysteries anime or what this is?
I haven't heard about this yet.
No.
I think Lord of the Mysteries. I mean, the only anime I'm watching this season so far are the second season of My Dress Up Darling, which is really good, by the way. Like, the first season was already good, and the second is continuing to be a lot of fun. It's like a really fun romance with some cosplay themes, and it has a really, really good like main couple chemistry, especially because the guy of the couple is just as much of a dream guy in many ways as the girl is.
Oh, okay. So it's not like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the typical dynamic. So yeah.
Yeah. The loser guy who gets the super hot and extroverted girl for some reason. Yeah. It's very wholesome. Basically, the couple is like you have this one a very extroverted cosplayer girl. Who's like a very extroverted cosplayer and otaku girl, stuff like that. And her love interest is a pretty tall but also relatively shy dude who is basically the son in a family of doll makers.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He's very obsessed with like those traditional Japanese dolls and making dresses for them. And he feels kind of he has kind of a complex because of that, because he feels like he has like this unmanly cringe hobby that he can't share with people. And then he gets close to this girl, and then she realizes, oh man, he's like super good at making dresses and stuff, and like tailoring and things like that. So they have like this chemistry that she makes like he helps her with her cosplays basically.
I see.
The
Okay.
cosplay making. And she is like super friendly to him and she finds it super cool that he has like those skills from this hobby. Because I mean, let's be real, it is super cool if someone has like a really good skill in something.
Sure.
Especially
I mean,
when the
this is
skill
like
is-
3 dumb. Like,
useful.
well, would you judge it just because he's a man? I mean, it's just like.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
like one
cool.
of the things. And I mean, it's like a very consistent thing in this series that he realizes, oh, actually, most people don't find it cringe at all. It's just
Yeah.
I have like this complex because some children in my elementary school called me cringe or something, and then some masculinity things that I heard make me think it's cringe, but actually it's not. And there's also the thing that it's very obvious that she, like the girl, falls for him in much harder, way quicker than he does. And it's like very understandable why she does. Like, because of course he helps her with her hobby and he's super considerate with everything. And like, yeah, I mean, you just get it. You just get why both sides fall for each other. And that's very important for a series like that.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
If you ever want to watch a wholesome romance anime, it's very good. I can definitely recommend it. And it's kind of horny. It's not super horny. I mean, it has fan service, yes, but it's not out of place in a way. It's like fan service that's basically fan service with the girl, not about the girl, if you understand what I mean with that. Because she's like this very extroverted girl that loves cosplaying like certain cosplays because she's super into Arrow, doujinshi, and not doujinshi, but things like that, games and stuff. And it's really wholesome, actually. It's very wholesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second anime that I'm watching this season, it's like a surprise thing that I just started by coincidence because I wanted to watch something during dinner, is Silent Witch.
Silent Witch.
Silent Witch, yes.
That's what you say to somebody if you don't want them to speak. Silent Witch. I am
Silent
speaking
Witch.
now. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
That's rough.
Yeah, sorry.
It's actually a very classic fantasy scenario in many ways. And your main character is a witch.
No.
And she's super overpowered. And she's called the Silent Witch because she can cast spells without speaking. Dun dun dun.
What?
And now you would think, oh, it's one of those OP fantasy kind of series where she just owns everyone and things like that.
And you'd be right. Okay.
No, not really, because the series, it often gets called, maybe not often, but I have seen it called a lot, Bocce is a Witch.
Oh,
because
wow.
it kind of is.
Okay, yeah, I can.
It's basically Bocce.
I see where this is. I see where this is going.
But she's a witch, and she has to survive in social interactions because she has like a job to fulfill. She has to protect Felix.
Nice.
Because the reason is, as you might have already heard quite a lot,
Felix, you must die here and now.
Yeah, I need protection. I need a lot of protection. You should know this from all those streams.
Yeah.
Seen.
Yeah, no, there's like this second crown prince Felix or something she has to protect. And so she has to go undercover and, be in like a social scenario, trying to be the bodyguard of this prince without arousing suspicion, and also interacting with other people and stuff like that. And it's really cute because she's very... I would really say a bit autistic coded, not just because of her introvert nature, but also she's like super into numbers. She's super into math, and some other things that are.
Wait, you have to be autistic to be into math. Is that how it works?
No,
oh no!
I think in a scenario like this, if you have a character who's like super shy, super bad with social interactions. And is also like super obsessed with math to the point that they use math as like comfort fantasies. When they're stressed, they think about when she's stressed. She thinks about like math problems to basically calm down again and things like that. I think it's at least somewhat intended to be like. On the spectrum, at least.
Yeah. I can see.
And also her behavior in many other ways. It kind of does feels like that, but not like in a super stereotypical way. It's like really nicely written with the characters. It's just a bit weird in the first episode because it is very, 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 very exposition heavy. They do a lot of like, oh yeah, we are explaining this and this. Despite both people in the conversation knowing all of this already.
Bro diagnosing anime girls, yeah, that's what's happening.
Say again?
Bro diagnosing anime girls.
Yeah. Yes. Totally. I mean, that reminds me of Blue Box, like this one other anime romance anime, where the one of the basically the main girl also seems a bit weird and a bit annoyingly quiet and I wouldn't say introverted, like the way she acts feels a bit weird and a bit felt a bit annoying to me at first. But then it's got charming, and then I realized, she also feels a bit like autistic is a bit hard to say, but you know, she feels a bit special in the way she interacts with people, and that's it's very interesting. Like that's that made her very interesting and very funny in the way she.
All those neurodiverse characters. Neurodiverse characters. That's how you say.
I mean, I would say those might be that in many ways.
I mean, in a lot of ways, a lot of people are neurodiverse these days, so you just don't realize it.
I mean, they also were decades ago. They just double didn't realize it. Is this Vermilion Wasteland?
Yes. People keep asking like this. It's just Vermilion Wasteland 2. No, it's just Nyx Infested Land, but people already mentioned it looks a lot like Vermilion Wasteland, and you know it's fair.
Is this Age of Mythology music? Yes, I just looked. It is. I never played Age of Mythology actually. I was always more of an Age of Empires 2 fan.
Age of Empires 2, where I had my first game development attempts, creating just maps with scripted content. We're trying to create something which feels a bit like an RPG and didn't really work that well.
Same with me and StarCraft 1. And then my second attempt was programming an RPG on the TI 83, I think, or 84, on a calculator basically.
Wow. Okay.
And I did. It worked. I programmed some. I still remember. I had basically two programs. I had a combat program and a main game program. And the main game program always called the combat program whenever there was a combat.
Oh, okay. Wow.
With like variables and stuff. You had like a very limited number of variables. Like way more limited than RPG Maker, for example.
I can imagine, yeah.
And yeah, in the main program, I basically had like the story, which of course was purely text. And very simplistic, of course. It was like a very shitposty story. And then combat was called through whenever there was combat. And it was like a very simple turn-based combat, but it had like special abilities and stuff like that. It was actually pretty...
It sounds impressive. I think I never had a calculator this to actually program these kind of things.
I mean, I don't have it anymore because it took up a lot of space on my calculator, and I think at some point it was just the save was just gone or something. I don't know. I mean, in many ways, it was just like a hobby thing I did back in the day.
Programming a game on a calculator seems worse than just being good at math.
I think I did that before I think I did that when I was like 14 or something. Or 13?
Are these walls jumpable? Looks like low enough. They're actually not. Those are jumpable walls. I'm pretty zoomed out, so it might feel like this. Those are actually jumpable walls. So those are just no. But usually we try to keep walls pretty low because there's less covered space and it's easier to navigate these areas. But I'm still thinking of adding, maybe I can, do this here. It's always like a funny trick in mapping. We just raise the front part, the behind part, the part is a little bit lower. So effectively, you block the same amount of space, but things feel less flat. It's one of those tricks. Mapping tricks.
The big question we all know is, could it play Doom? You mean the calculator? I do remember that there were some very primitive like action and ego shooter games on that. But those basically always run on some special engine that you had to download. But I also remember that how basically the structure of those programs were. Because of course on those calculators you had to be very limited in how you like programmed your programs, like with very limited commands and stuff like that. So like to have like any kind of program structure, you had to use a lot of go-to and label.
Okay.
And those go-to and labels, as far as I remember, were also limited. So
so you felt right at home when you switched to RPG Maker.
Yeah, but an RPG Maker was way less limiting. Like seriously, you had like so many I mean, very few games actually manage to fill out the variables, right? In RPG Maker.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. You had a lot more memory.
As far as I remember, the combat basically worked. It was like turn-based. The player could like select the attack. Then the enemies did their normal attacks, and then you had like a go back to the action selection, and then it repeats basically, like a very simple kind of.
Kovac asked if he can post links, and honestly, I don't know. Can Kovac post links, or will he be banned immediately?
Good question. You can try it.
You can try, Kovac. If it doesn't work, then we have to see.
You won't get banned, but maybe the link gets blocked.
Vincent, I actually was the same. When I picked up RPG Maker, I couldn't program at all. I actually learned programming through RPG Maker, like the first few steps. Like when I scripted stuff, that was before I studied computer science or anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, but I mean, I had some very, very basic programming knowledge, like from programming courses from using the calculator. One day, you guys will do a reimagining of Felserbor Copium. So did Kovac try, or because I don't see anything?
I think I be banished. I am scared, he says. Okay.
The thing is, we would see if you get banned, and we can unban you very, very
I think
quickly.
we can quickly do that if that happens.
But I don't think the mod instantly bans you. It's more like it just blocks the message, if anything.
Thanatos asks, one day you guys will do a reimagining of Felserbor Copium. The funny thing is, I get hated, but some time ago, I actually wondered, man, that's this game I did called Felserbor a long time ago. I don't even remember how the story was exactly. I wondered.
I still remember most of it, I think.
The thing is, and then I wondered, okay, did I actually write this down? And I looked, and yes, it's still, I have a Dropbox folder, and it's all there still. It's like all the documents for what I planned about the story, and I actually read it, and I thought, man, damn, that was actually kind of complicated. Like, and funnily, in some ways, the story went in a similar direction of Crosscode, ironically. Like, some aspects are actually kind of similar. It's interesting. I wasn't really aware of that.
Yeah, it was deleted. I really need to talk to Flora so she can.
I mean, normally. Okay, Kovac, what I will do, I will just post it for you for now.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, TI 83, right? That was the one. So, no, I think we used the TI 84. Thinking about it.
What did Nightbot? I'm not scared. Stop posting links. Warning. What? Okay. Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, but still, we should still. Right, that's the thing. That's in the video, this one smaller interface, Ion 1.6. That was the engine basically, or something,
Wow.
for that was able to run certain games, like the Tetris game. We played so much Tetris on the during class.
Wow.
I really bonded with this one girl in my class because she was also a huge Tetris player on the calculator. We were basically the big rivals in terms of Tetris high scores.
Wow.
Still
Impressive.
remember? I still remember. I don't know if you ever had that. Those basically classes where like one of the students like volunteered or could volunteer to basically hold the class for like some extra credit. I don't know why they did that. I think she was just some nerd who did that kind of shit. And then I realized that girl who was really into the Tetris was playing Tetris the entire time. This classmate of us was holding that class. And then at the end of the class, she shouted through the entire class to me, "Hey, Hannah, I have a new Tetris record."
Oh my god!
That's so funny.
What the fuck? Oh man. That happened.
And by the way, she wasn't even a super nerdy girl or something. She was basically one of the pretty girls in class. But she was
Okay.
really into Tetris.
I mean, I guess it can happen.
It can happen. It's like, wow. Oh man, that was so funny. Hmm. 8.2.
Oh yeah. 824. Wow. Dang, okay. That's impressive. Okay. Man.
All you need is a calculator. Yeah. Alabaster Dawn for TY84 soon.
It's gonna happen.
Or 83, whatever. When is the release, Felix? When is it?
When do you guys expect the first play build to be ready? So about the first playable build to be ready, if you're talking about the public demo version, we will soon announce something about when this will happen. As for when the first complete game is completed, when it's the final thing will be released, we really can't say at this point. There's still too much to develop.
I would assume we will
hard.
release it this decade.
Yeah, that sounds realistic. And I was thinking there. That's right. Okay, what year is it? Is it 28 or 25? Okay.
Will the public demo differ from the preview from Gamescom 2023? Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. The showcase demo. Oh wait, Gamescom 2023. Yeah, definitely. It will. In many ways, because the Gamescom 2023 was still a lot more rough compared to what we now have. Last year already the showcase demo was a bit different. It will go on for a bit longer, definitely longer. Like the Gamescom demo is actually cut intentionally short so people can realistically finish the demo in half an hour or maybe 40 minutes. And we won't do that for the public demo. Honestly, 5 years is I hope it will not take us 5 years to finish this game. No, not saying this, but honestly, if you nail me down on in 2 years, I would be a little bit careful with 2 years still. That's currently how I see things. Just as a point of reference, when we went to early access with CrossCode, it actually took us 3.5 years to finish the game. And I do hope we will be faster this time. But it's hard to make that promise right now. Because in some ways we do have more stuff done. We do have better tools. So potentially things can go faster. On the other hand, looking on how development has gone so far, we're kind of like again, a lot of stuff takes us longer to do because we are again more perfectionistic. We do polish a little bit too much maybe. And that's why it's really hard to make the promise that it will be faster compared to CrossCode.
But the game after this one will definitely be faster.
I mean, at the very least, I really hope we will not redo our engine again, because that would be
completely.
At that point, it would be just dumb.
We need a complete remaking of the game. It needs to be 4D.
No. Honestly, we spent a lot of time on this engine, and I think it, in many ways, it's there's a lot of cool stuff we can do with this, and I'm mostly starting about thinking some other games we could do with this engine now, so that's already a good sign.
Mm-hmm. Help! I'm thinking. What are you thinking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know this meme? That's like apparently a very popular meme.
Yeah, I know this one. There's like a whole commercial about this.
Mm.
It's not a meme. It's a
right.
There was
it's
a
like
commercial.
It's like a Learn English commercial, right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
Oh gosh.
How many hours of playtime for Alabaster Dawn compared to Crosscode? You mean finished or? I mean finished. I assume we would try to get a similar playtime to Crosscode, maybe a bit less.
Yeah, like the story will be less side quest heavy, but in turn the mandatory content might be somewhat more. Which is why, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did change some, like a lot of things about aiming. Or maybe about how you kind of like catch a thing and move it around, like the control scheme for that was changed. But yeah. We did work out on a lot of the details, so...
Yeah, Flora, we really need to adapt Nightbot a bit so it doesn't go after everything.
Yeah.
Right
Maybe you can have a look at Nightbot and see if you can make things a little bit more tolerant.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Nightbot doesn't even need to do much moderation for us because we usually have a pretty small chat with like not much need for moderation, and what little we need, and we can usually do ourselves, in my opinion. So we don't really need Nightbot to auto-mod a lot of stuff.
More side quests, yeah. I mean,
Crosscode had not enough side quests, obviously. The thing is, Alabaster Dawn will likely have less side quests, but they will likely be longer and more involved, I think. Like they're definitely...
There will be side quests, yeah. It will be less focused on... I mean, Crosscode wasn't really focused in that sense, but it had like a quantity of side quests, which may have been a little bit like... I almost think the content was like 50% story, 50% side quests. And
maybe not that much because of how long the dungeons were, but
I mean, yeah, fair, yeah, sure, that's actually
and it
true.
Depends on what it depends on how you count like the normal exploration of the environment.
Yeah, the thing is that's also something that Alabaster Dawn will again have, like the exploration. And this one is actually like one big time sink. Honestly, and I think that's why we can easily... That's also the reason why the game already is now 5 hours long. It's not because it's like full of story. It's because we already have created a pretty large world, even though it's not nearly complete. It's just one part of 7, 8 parts, something like this. And
yeah, Flora,
it's already 5 hours. Yeah.
It's not that urgent. It's okay if you do it after the stream or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the 5 hours, was that from our last playtest? Because in that case, we likely have like a few more hours on top of that since then. Or from when were those 5 hours?
The 5 hours?
5 hours. Was it from the last playtest?
Yeah, the last playtest.
Okay, because I think we have like 2 or 3 hours more in comparison.
You mean now from since the last, because of the side quest stuff, or?
I would say the side quest, and there's also some additional dungeon stuff, right?
Oh right, yeah. The optional dungeon is now mostly finished. Actually, you're right. If you add those, you might at least get 1 or 2 hours extra. About that. Kovac asks, will the side quests have impact on main story? Like you clear area, you got item that help you a lot in story. I mean, impact on main story sounds like you can impact the way the story goes depending on what side quests to do, and that will be less the case. Obviously you will get rewards and those will help you because that's what quests usually do. But the story will still be very linear in a way, but there will be like an optional component to the story, so you can do certain stuff or you cannot do it, and it will have somewhat of an impact about how the game will end, and not necessarily on how it ends, but how the world will look like at the end, let's say it like this. So
like the thing is, the quests are at least way more involved with the actual world compared to Crosscode, which was more like whatever gimmick we could think of at that moment became like a side quest, and it usually didn't have that much impact and that much relation with like important NPCs.
Yeah. Like imagine Crosscode side quests were usually related to factions or some other NPCs, and those for the most part were not really related to any character involved in the main plot. There's a few exceptions like the Dekar quest, you know. Those actually involve some of the party members, but most quests really don't do this. You have new NPCs in the factions who are connected to that, and in Alabaster Dawn we plan to involve all kind of characters that also play a role in what's happening here. What the fuck? Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. So all kind of characters that also come up in the main story. So, you know, that's like you can do like a main story quest with some characters which are related to the main plot, and then those characters will give you additional quests later on that you need to do to help civilization to progress. That's usually what this is about, you know?
Yeah. The civilization progression is like one of the main things where the side quests have an influence on the world.
Yeah.
Almost like we are fans of the 16-bit classic by the father of the Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko author, Terranigma.
Yes. It's still such a weird coincidence connection.
It's quite so funny.
Yeah. Couldn't believe this when I found that out.
I still remember that I showed you that interview, and I didn't really pick up on that little detail myself.
Yeah.
And then like an hour later or something, you sent me a message. What the fuck? What the hell? It was funny.
Yeah.
And did you know that the son of the producer of Terranigma is also friends with a lot of VTubers?
Obviously.
That's like hard to believe, right?
Yeah, I can't believe that, Hannah.
I can't believe that.
Can't believe you've done that.
I have done that. I'm responsible for his friendships.
Okay, that was a question here. Transgender Robotnik saying, I like Crosscode Cycles because it was get the quest, do the objective, turn it in, simple as that. I didn't have a bazillion pieces of unskippable dialogue that you have to wait through just to get to the next step. I mean, first of all dialogues in our games will always be skippable. And in practice, a lot of people skip side quest dialogue, which I feel is a little bit of a shame. And you know, it's great that you like that. I think, to be fair, like there's like a fair amount of people criticizing Crosscode side quests, and I feel it's a little bit unfair because there's a lot of, at least gameplay wise, there's a lot of cool stuff happening in Crosscode side quests, which is something we again will try to do for Alabaster Dawn, obviously. But I feel like the criticism was mostly about the story part, that it kind of sometimes felt like a little bit not too interesting, which I feel is mostly because it was entirely detached from the main plot. So it was hard to really get people into the story of these characters. But you know, if you don't really care about this in the first place, then obviously you wouldn't mind that. But yeah, like we are not trying, at least we are not trying to make our quest dialogues extremely text heavy, right, Hannah?
Yes,
So...
I have been studying a game that are trying that I want to try to emulate. You might have heard about it. It's called Arknights.
No, please don't. Yeah, but anyway,
we are still trying to keep the dialogues very light and keep some brevity, and that you don't have to read too much text for those.
I've been scared from all the side quests in Genshin. They don't have skippable dialogue or two, so a simple resort. Really? Oh boy. Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay. Well, it's Genshin. There's a reason why I stopped playing it pretty quickly. Just show waifus on screen. The text won't matter.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. That's the next game that I'm gonna emulate. It's called Nike, Goddess of Battle.
Oh no.
I'm gonna ask Yui to make like a
some
Nike.
concepts drawings.
Yeah. to do like an artwork that looks like Yuno in Nike, where she shoots with her crossbow. But sadly, it's hard to really capture the charm in a still image. That's like the big problem of that. If you need inspiration, do rather FGO LB6. I've heard about FGO, that it apparently has some really good writing in some stories, but I guess it's also very text heavy. League of Angels, wasn't that one of those really bad hot big titty not really waifu, because it was like more of a Western game, right? But I think I do remember that from one of the worst games of all time series. This one channel who mostly did like MMOs and mobile games and browser games. So I guess that does bring into question how would one go about hooking a player into being invested into side quests? That's the thing. I mean, this with Alabaster Dawn, we are trying to weave the side quests much tighter into the main cast. Like,
the thing is, I personally feel games like Witcher 3 were very successful with that, because they had side quests which honestly were as impressive, if not more impressive, than the main plot.
Oh, definitely.
So it's mostly about just creating interesting stories. You know, I'm not sure we will be able to do kind of like to be as good as Witcher 3 in that regard, but you know, at least we want to try to be a bit better than Crosscode there.
Let's set the bar as high as possible.
Yeah.
Actually, we want Alabaster Dawn to be the Baldur's Gate 3 killer. That's
oh boy.
League of Angels also had like those ads everywhere, right? Speaking of drawings, do you sometimes make them or no time anymore? I mean, not during dev streams. I think Felix sometimes draws still, like for fun or for like...
Oh man, I didn't draw for a long time, I think. I mostly do very cheap sketches when communicating ideas for our artists, but honestly, I haven't been drawing for a long time.
Maybe we need
to...
Well,
maybe I should do some stuff again sometime.
Maybe drawing is like bicycling. You don't forget it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's still something where sometimes I feel maybe I should do a bit more again.
At the same time, if people are going to skip stories, they will likely not care more about the story when you don't let them skip it, which would raise only... Yeah, that's true. It's like... I mean, I don't think it... I think it's... You should have a skip button either way, because...
Yeah, you always give people the option. So then the rest is just up to you to create a story that's interesting enough. And if it's not, then, well, then people should always have the right to skip it, and some people, you know.
If you don't have to, if you can't skip the story, you will get an experience like in Star Ocean 4, where the story and the cutscenes are complete ass. Sometimes funny ass, but often just idiotic, boring ass, which then causes me, the player, to just go to the toilet while main female lead is whining for half an hour. Just bringing back some classics. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, skipping is also useful, for example, if players want to like redo something or like play it for the second time, or I don't know, if the game crashed and they have to play something again.
Yeah.
So like there's not really any reason to not have a skip function.
Yeah, pretty
Do you
much.
let them skip the intro? You mean the full intro skip with like a I don't know, maybe you could.
I don't feel so. I don't feel like this is
Yeah.
necessary, because the intro of the game is also like should ideally be entertaining enough that you don't want to skip it.
I mean, intro skipping is one of those things that might be an option when you see that the player already has beaten the game once.
Yeah, New Game
like
Plus
on a New Game
option
Plus,
potentially.
yeah.
That's the
Right.
thing.
That's like fair, but otherwise. Skips the scene or auto skips. It's more. It's not really skips the entire scene. It's more like you can fast forward the scene very quickly.
Yeah. It's like the same we did in Crosscode. You can just press a button, then the scene will just fast forward very quickly, and you can cancel whenever you want. Though it might be tricky to hit the right point, but that's how it goes. Request rewards you with Terra nudes of various angles. What? Okay.
You mean noodles?
Oh, yeah, there might be noodle rewards actually. In fact, yeah, there might be
what it
noodles.
Noodles.
Very
Pasta.
tasty noodles. Maybe even ramen.
But that would blow up the ramen. Ha. Ha.
Huh.
Pup?
Oh, it's already kind of late.
Kinda late.
I'm just
What
realizing that these days I go to bed at around between 10 and 11. So
Such a
okay.
boomer.
Yeah.
You're such a child-having person.
Yeah. It happens.
Before we ended, are there any games that you played?
I did play and also finish A Space for the Unbound. You know,
Right.
this
A game
one
that's
Indonesian game.
you're an Indonesian playing an Indonesian game.
Yeah.
Was it a big culture shock?
Wasn't exactly culture shock, but it was interesting. I mean, setting wise, it was cool to kind of have an Indonesian game, and the game actually had like a lot of small details where you notice, yeah, you're actually in Indonesia, like a lot of references to like typical Indonesian things, like certain genres of music or what kind of food they eat, and it was actually funny. I like that.
You mean was there a lot of unexpected 90s Euro trash?
No, why?
Because I mean that's something that surprised me like a few years ago. That apparently in various Asian places they really like to listen to like Venga Boys and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Eurodance music from the 90s.
No, it was some kind of music genre that I think actually people in Indonesia created. I forgot the name though. I mean, obviously I can't remember anything.
It's indie pop.
No, it's not.
No, I don't know. But I'll ask you one day. No, but that was actually a very fun moment because I'm sorry, Felix, but at some point I heard that some Japanese VTuber sing like one of those Venga Boys songs, and then I talked about that with Yui, and then Yui was like, "Yeah, you hear that in Indonesia everywhere. It's often played on traditional Indonesian markets." And I'm like, okay.
Okay. I guess.
That's traditional Indonesian music for traditional Indonesian market. The Venga Boys. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's like the Venga bus is coming. Halt, oops. What engine is this? I think it's Unity, right? No, it's no.
We do have an entry for that with
yes,
engine. Yes, thank you. They're Nightbot. Nightbot is there to also explain stuff, not just to ban people and be very obnoxious about spelling and caps and all that. But yeah,
it uses all caps to say HTML5.
You need to ban yourself, Nightbot, right now. Okay.
Do you do this full time or is it a side gig? It's actually full time for.
It's actually full time. Somehow we managed to do this full time. Let's hope we can keep doing this full time for a while longer.
Felix, Felix, can you actually make money with this game development?
Oh my gosh, do we? I'm not sure. Did you get money? I forgot. Yes, we can.
Some guy sometimes tells me that I get money each month.
Eventually. There's a promise of money. Yes, you can actually make money with games. It's not easy, but it works. You shouldn't go into games if your goal is to become rich. It's really hard, and there's other ways which will work better.
And yes, if you want to go become rich, invest into NFTs or something.
Oh yeah, that definitely works. So
totally financial
you hear that here first, guys. But yeah, like we do this full time. Crosscode was, ever since Crosscode release, it was actually, even though, and I need to repeat this, nobody knows Crosscode, but fortunately enough people know Crosscode that it can finance like a 6 people team, like 6 full-time positions, more or less. So that's good.
I always love the damn, why does no one know this game? This game video.
500,000 people. We know this game. Why does nobody know this game?
To be fair, 500,000 people, that's less than the population of China, for example. It could be more.
Yeah.
Have you considered letting ChatGPT making your design this? No.
Nope.
No,
we did not consider this, and we will probably not consider this in the near future. Yeah, like this whole, you should use AI to be more efficient at a lot of stuff, and I currently still don't see the use case, to be frank.
I mean, for us,
there's like a limited use for AI if you want to, you know, sometimes some of our concept artists use it to sketch some ideas, generate some for brainstorming and stuff like this. I can see the use there. I think if you overuse AI, if it's too noticeable, people don't like that. I also understood that people very often will not notice this, but something we did with our game specifically is really trying to create a very unique style, and I'm not sure how well this one could be, you know, it might be tricky to keep this kind of style using AI generation.
One last thing, do you ever feel like your work is too derivative of other titles? Asking because I'm trying to get into Gamedev myself and I'm constantly worried about that.
Honestly, our game, yeah?
Sometimes I was worried by Crosscode if we are overdoing it with the references, but otherwise it's its own thing.
I mean, in the end, I think it's fine if you take inspirations from other games. Just what I tend to say is just, what I think is important is just to mix sufficiently. Just don't just copy one game too much, so it's not essentially the same thing. try to combine it with other things, maybe try to add some new thoughts, some new ideas to it too, and then people will like it. I also think in many ways originality is not necessarily the main thing that makes a game successful. I feel like there needs to be something original about it. Like it shouldn't not feel exactly like something else that's already there. People might notice and not like it. But in so many ways, it's much more about the execution, about whatever you decide to do. You need to do it well. You need to polish it.
Felix, consider.
Yeah. Imagine.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
But add guns.
Yeah. Yeah. It's genius. Question: Alabaster gonna have the same music composer yeah, it will be the same composer we had in Crosscode.
He has a different name now, but it's the same guy.
What Flora said, yeah. Like Crosscode is in many ways just a mix of all kind of games. I think the trick for us was that we just mixed in a way that hasn't happened so much before. Like actually the serious mix of actually trying to do a Zelda game, but it's also an RPG, like a series RPG with a lot of equipment and a linear story. That isn't, at least back then you didn't have this as much. I mean, there was before Breath of the Wild came out, but Breath of the Wild is not a real JRPG. It's like it moved more in this direction because you had more equipment and stuff, you know, more weapons, but it's still a very different kind of experience. But now we have this very linear JRPG experience, you know, linear in a good way because the story is very involved. But then we add Zelda puzzles, and where else do you have this? Maybe Golden Sun, maybe Lufia, but those are turn-based games. Ours is an action RPG. So
I mean, yeah, Grandea kind of also had similar thing, but first of all, it came out later in the 1.0.
Yeah, we overtook that. Haha.
But yeah.
But yeah, like you can just mix things in a way that hasn't been done before. It's definitely possible.
Is the Electronic Arts or Early Access release still slated for the late 2025, or was it pushed back? I think it's something that we want to bring out 2026, right? Like early.
What is 2026?
Early
access.
Yeah.
I think late 2025 might be tricky, but I think early 2026 is realistic. Yeah.
We might. So basically after the next after the Ryoshu Kanto.
Yeah. What?
After the next Limbus season. Sorry, it's like.
Oh my fucking god.
I was.
Yeah, what's Limbus? Nobody knows. Don't ask.
Nobody knows. It's
very niche.
It's very.
I'm sure
it
nobody
is kind
knows
of niche. It's kind of niche.
Not as niche as us, but you know.
Not as niche as us, yes. But hey, we might both have Arknight's dishware. Wait, no, you will summon the sleeper agents. What sleeper agents?
I've been trying to get my best friend to play Crosscode for a couple of years now. She still hasn't gone around to it. Oh man, yeah, there's just too many games. Might be sometimes be tricky to get people to play a game, especially if it's a long one like Crosscode.
Yeah. You might be surprised, but even we know some people who haven't played Crosscode yet. Because it's just too long. Or because it's not their genre, that also happens.
Okay. So I think, okay, 10:30. I already feel like I'm getting tired. Though I did say 3 hours, might be tricky.
Oh, you really wanna put it in the 3 hours? Okay.
Maybe not. Let's see. Why did the music stop, Hannah? What did you do? Anyone still here? Did the internet now force the stream to end? Can somebody please say anything? Or is it just Alright, yeah, people are still here. That's good. The music stopped. I don't know what happened. Maybe Hannah broke it and then Hannah disappeared and now it's all silent. Yeah. It looks like Discord is broken. Yeah, probably a Discord issue.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
For some reason, the music stopped for me, and you also
Yeah. Same for me. I think Discord just broke down, but at least the stream is fine.
I had to restart. Yes. I actually played some games, Felix.
You did? Wow.
Yes. I played a game called Uma Musum. No, I didn't. I considered finally playing Hades, which I still haven't done.
Okay.
And then I installed it. And then I started playing a game called Jagged Alliance 3 instead. Which is like a sequel of one of my favorite games of all time. So I was like, okay, I want to check this out. And you wouldn't believe it, but this game from the year 2024, I think, is not as complex and rather weirdly over complex as this other turn-based strategy game from the early 2000s with additional mods that make it more complicated. So
okay.
But it's still fun. I mean, they really adapted it very well, and they have a lot of mod support, which is also good. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, especially because it has a lot of those old characters. It has like a lot of the old mood.
Okay.
Fun stuff. Maybe half the internet got taken down. Thank you, Cloudflare. Let's blame Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure he has some fault of it.
He should be at fault.
Can I repeat my message again? Of course. Back to the puzzle problem again. Probably you guys give a very noticeable UI or something for the people that doesn't want to bother with puzzle. You mean hints and stuff like that?
No, we don't do that.
I mean, there might be hints from like sidekicks that you have.
Yeah, like something we will not do is force a solution on people. Because I know that people hate that. So if you take for too long, some character just keeps talking to you, hey, do this thing. And or something might pop up and saying, hey, you need to do that thing. So instead, the idea is that you have a sidekick, Cabbage, the capybara, and he's a capybara. So that means when he appears, he will do nothing because he's a capybara. He will just look at you, you know? That's why I still think capybaras are like the perfect animal for the sidekick. He's not proactive. He's just looking, he's there, he's watching you, and he's judging you. But he's also helpful. So if you go to him and ask him, he tells you how to do things. But it's up to you to talk to him and to ask him. So
it's basically like Carla in the cargo hold.
Yeah, pretty much like what Carla did.
Yeah, and also the puzzles won't have that big of an execution challenge this time compared to Crosscode, because in Crosscode there were lots of puzzles that even after realizing how to do it, you would often have like a pretty considerable execution challenge, like timing it right, being able to follow like a projectile that's flying along somewhere and like destroying obstacles, things like that. And those kind of puzzles we don't really do in Alabaster Dawn anymore. There might still be like very momentarily, occasional timing things where you have to time one thing, but not like timing several things after each other. And things like that.
Crosscode had like a lot of again, like I'm sure some people enjoyed this aspect specifically, that Crosscode had like these, you know, this folded ball puzzles where you have to do a lot of stuff in time with the ball to actually solve it. And some people really enjoyed it. Some people really hated this. So it's a hard choice to make. And we might have some time intensive puzzles like this as well, but they will be less frequent. They might be optional. Kind of depends how things are received. That's another part where I think early access and playtesting will help a lot for us to tweak things.
I also just realized again from looking at my screenshots from this Jagged Alliance 3 game that I actually did find a game-breaking bug pretty early. No, not really game-breaking. It's more like one of my characters basically fell through a stone stairs and was in the ground through some weird coincidence, which of course needed a reload for me. It's really funny to see like those kind of bugs in a game after like a few hours of gameplay. But I guess it can happen. Thankfully the game had like a send in bugs feature, just like how Song of Conquest has.
Yeah, we actually will have this too. As I said, like we did have like a bug. Actually, it's just for crashes. Maybe we can do something more general where people can just submit bugs if they notice any. We see we got a subscription by Rough Riffs, subscribing for 4 months, saying thanks for being awesome and sharing your work with us. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Yes, thank you.
And we're always happy.
Your subscription helps our development.
A little bit.
I actually posted a screenshot of the bug. It's pretty. It's like this guy is just clipped through the floor after killing someone. It's like very funny.
You mean the one below the stairs or what?
Yeah, the one that has like this outline, this white outline thing.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it happens.
And something that's also really charming about that game is that it actually canonically plays in the early 2000s, like very early 2000s. Like, I think it's canonically 2001. So, which is also the release year of the second game. And also when the second game played, I think. And they did that so they could have like a very similar mood to the second game and also have like the same characters. Or like some of the same characters at least. And most importantly, have like the entire, the very clunky early 2000s internet as like an interface, interface theme.
Okay.
Because it was also, it's really cool. It was also a thing in like the second game that you controlled a lot of the strategic things, like your grand map operations and your personal management, like where you hire mercenaries and stuff like that. You do that on basically a laptop interface.
Oh, okay.
And like certain website interfaces that look very like 2000s websites because the second game was from the 2000s, so they just needed to
Okay.
emulate those kind of websites, and they still do this in the third game, just with a bit more like resolution, of course, but it's really it's really funny. Oh, nice.
Bum, 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 bum. I think it's a good time to wrap up the stream. I really should try not to do it for too long.
Maybe I can find the Seinfeld theme again.
Yeah, honestly, I have to say, doing detail mapping like this while streaming is surprisingly productive because you can really, it's like something that you just do. You don't think too much about it.
Don't think,
it's
just
good.
do. Okay. Fuck. Let's.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna add something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mapping really is something that you can do really well while like listening to podcasts, listening to a stream, something like that.
Yeah. So we did make some progress. I mean, still stuff to do as you can see, but it's we did make. I think we got at least somewhere. Those are perfectly regular trees on that shirt. That's true. Yeah, it's.
Oh, you are.
I did have one with a perfectly regular tree. Damn, where is that shirt actually? I think I didn't lost it. I have been wearing it so much it doesn't look that great anymore. But I think I still should have it.
That was a gift from Ro, right?
Yeah, it was a gift from Ro. Yeah. Well, very good gift.
Maybe we can reprint it a few times or something if he has the design still.
It was an amazing shirt, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool shirt.
Yeah.
And it's also so subtle, you can wear it just casually and no one will know.
Yeah, nobody knows it's a weird nerd shirt, and then when you know crosscode, it's like, it's really cool. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the stream, been awesome. We'll try to catch your monthly stream. Thank you so much for being here again.
And don't forget, if you ever miss a stream or want to watch some older streams, there are VODs on our YouTube channel.
Yes, we try to upload all of them. Sometimes we forget, but
yeah, it happens.
At least these days, actually, I make a habit of just doing it right after ending the stream. I just stop writing any text, so it's like as easy as possible, so I just do it so it won't get lost. But yeah, so you probably saw on the internet that we will be on the off-brand showcase event next Saturday, so make sure to watch that one. You will see some cool news about the game we are working on, Alabaster Dawn. I probably should have mentioned this before. I forgot, but yeah, this is kind of important. It's maybe the reason why you saw like those pirate software videos in my timeline, because I've been kind of interested in what's happening there for related reason.
That caused a bit of headache internally.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's fine. They just like they kind of like distance themselves a little bit.
Yep.
And we are not really published by off-brand, so
the thing is, we have never heard about pirate software before this entire thing. I think.
I mean, I've seen a few clips. I was aware of him, but didn't know about the controversy until after they talked me about joining this showcase. So, but you know, it's fine. Anyway, there's a lot of other games there too, so make sure to watch it.
Keep your eyes out for Yarn Guardians, which will be released in the near future.
Shit, we should do another big shout out for them at some point.
Yeah, we will, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so until the next stream, hope to see you again. Hope you have a nice Sunday evening.
Yes.
Have a good next week. And see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to wash behind your ears. Check out those horses. And
I was watching the whole time.
Alright, I gotta stop you now. Okay, bye bye.